Hello, welcome back to another breaking news update. My name is Jimmy Boyd, and you were watching Boyd News. I want to thank you so much for tuning in today. I've got some updates here for you regarding this ongoing conflict between Israel and Hezbollah. We've got lots of stuff to go over today. One of the big topics we're going to be discussing is what you see here on your screen. This is Foreign Minister Abdallah Boabib, and he's come out and said that Hezbollah is ready to withdraw behind the Latani River. Now, I'll show you on a map here in just a little bit what I'm talking about. But this is basically an indication that Hezbollah is willing to stop their attacks on Israel. Okay, it's kind of what this is. We'll go into it into greater detail here in just a little bit. But some of the other topics we're going to be discussing as well is there's some big news that came out yesterday also that the president of Turkey, Erdogan, has come out and threatened to invade Israel if a war breaks out between Hezbollah and Israel. Okay, now that's absolutely huge news. Think about what I'm stating there. Erdogan, president of Turkey, okay, Turkey is a NATO member, okay, and isn't the U.S. coming out and stating that they're going to back Israel? How is that going to work out? How is a NATO member going to fight against a NATO member? And I understand Israel's not a NATO member, but if the U.S. is going to back Israel and the U.S. is going to be fighting against Hezbollah, and then Turkey's going to be fighting with Hezbollah against, like, how is that going to work out? I just don't quite understand that, and why Turkey would put themselves in that position. There's been some calls from, I think it was from some top Israeli officials calling for to remove Turkey from NATO and crazy things like that. But obviously, this is just a major dispute between Turkey and Israel. Obviously, Turkey's not a big fan of Israel, and it's mainly Erdogan. He doesn't like Israel very much, or Benjamin Netanyahu. He's also been very supportive of even Hamas. He's invited some of the Hamas leaders to Turkey to meet with them while this war's been going on against Israel. So obviously he's not a big fan of Israel and clearly threatening to invade them. So lots of big things we're going to be going over here. I'm going to go ahead and get right into the news so we can start talking about some of these topics. So this is the first thing I have here for you on the Times of Israel. It says Lebanese Foreign Minister Hezbollah ready to withdraw to behind the Latani River if Israel stops its attacks. So what this is as well is this is a major threat that Lebanon is worried about, that Israel will completely level Beirut, okay, the capital. That's another big thing too. There's lots of talk about that Israel could attack Beirut. And they've also come out many times before and said, okay, well, if Hezbollah wants to keep messing with us and keep attacking us, we'll just turn Beirut into Gaza, is basically what we have heard from the Israeli government and the IDF. They've come out and stated they would completely level Beirut and destroy it, level it to the ground. So it says here, commenting on a possible escalation between Israel and Hezbollah following yesterday's deadly rocket attack on Majd al-Shams, Lebanon's Foreign Minister Abdallah Boabib, I don't know if I'm saying that last name right though, my apologies if I'm not, says that Hezbollah is ready to withdraw beyond the Latani River, which runs some 29 kilometers, 18 miles north of the Israel-Lebanon border, if Israel halts its violations. In an interview with the Saudi-owned Al Hadath news channel, Beirut's top diplomat adds that Israel must think carefully before striking Lebanon, and that an escalation will affect Israel and the whole region. Hezbollah is barred by UN Security Council Resolution 1701 from maintaining a military presence south of the Latani. The Shiite terror group has blatantly violated that resolution and regularly launches attacks on Israel from near the border. In a separate interview, Lebanese Druze leader Walid Jumblat tells Al Jazeera that he had a conversation with U.S. Special Envoy Amos Hochstein and told him that Hochstein's task is not to relay Israeli threats, but to seek mediation. The remark appears to refer to earlier reports that quoted diplomatic sources in Beirut and Washington saying that an Israeli attack on Lebanon is inevitable. Okay, so it's bound to happen at some point. Jumblat, a prominent figure in Lebanese politics, absolves Hezbollah of any responsibility in the Majd al-Shams attack and adds that we are counting on the efforts of Parliament Speaker Nabi Berri to reach a serious ceasefire with the American envoy Hochstein in southern Lebanon. Okay, so this is obviously a very, very big news. Okay, if Hezbollah actually does agree to withdraw and pull away from the Latani River, this will be very interesting to me because, again, they've come out many times and they've stated, even their Secretary General Hassan Nasrallah has come out and stated that they would not stop attacking Israel until Israel withdraws from the Gaza Strip. And Israel clearly has not done that yet. I'm going to show you something else here very soon. That this is going to continue down here in Gaza, that this war is not going to end anytime soon, even based on what we're being told is what it seems like to me. So let me show you this real quick here on X from Ozen T Defender. The foreign minister of Lebanon, Abdallah Bouhabib, has told Saudi media that Hezbollah is prepared to withdraw from south of the Latani River in following United Nations Security Council Resolution 1701, but only if Israel halts its violations, further stating that any war against Hezbollah is a war against all Lebanese, but that it is not in the interest of Israel or Lebanon for a full-scale war. Okay, so they clearly don't want war with Israel. But let me show you this map. Okay, all this red right here is Hezbollah controlled. The reason why Hezbollah has been launching all these attacks because they control a large portion of the southern of Lebanon. So Israel wants Hezbollah to push beyond this river right here, the Latani River. They want them to push behind that, okay? And this will also allow them to abide to this this UN Security Council resolution, the 1701, where they can no longer, they're not supposed to be in this area. They need to withdraw and pull away behind the Latani River. Then this would also help out with the attacks that are happening on the northern side. And then obviously Israel wants them to stop attacking them too, right? That's obviously a big thing too. They want them to stop attacking their citizens. But again, I just don't see Hezbollah doing this. Now, is Hezbollah just bluffing here? Are they just stating this to kind of prevent Israel from launching an attack? I have no idea. I don't know if this is a bluff. I don't know if this is a lie. I don't know if this is something that they actually will do. Who knows? But let me show you this real quick on the Times of Israel as well. On X, it says Hamas accuses Netanyahu of stalling hostage deal with new demands. Okay, so look at this. Now it looks like this hostage deal thing is getting dragged out. There's tens of thousands of people in Tel Aviv protesting almost every single day, calling for Benjamin Netanyahu to resign, calling for him to come to an agreement with Hamas and get a hostage deal and bring these people home, bring these hostages home that are being held in Gaza. Okay, but there's lots of reports here stating that that Netanyahu has been stalling this deal. I've been hearing this for like over a week now, that Netanyahu's making all these demands to try to stall this thing out. So is he just trying to stall the war and continue the war so he can stay in power, or what's really going on here? Or is Israel really trying to push for a major war in the Middle East? Is that what it is? Like, there's just so many scenarios that are happening here, and it really makes you wonder what's really going on. Obviously, no one knows what's really happening except for the people like Netanyahu behind the scenes. But this whole thing is getting absolutely insane over here. So we're going to switch gears for a moment, and we're going to talk about Turkey's Erdogan for just a second here. So it says here on Fox News, Turkey's Erdogan threatens to invade Israel over war in Gaza as regional tensions grow. Israeli officials suggest Recep Tayyip Erdogan could face some fate as Iraq's Saddam Hussein. Okay, this came out today. It says Turkey's leader on Sunday threatened military intervention in Israel to stop Jerusalem's war in Gaza and a significant escalation of rhetoric from NATO's second largest military. In a meeting with his Justice and Development Party, AKP, President Recep Tayyip Erdogan said Turkey must be very strong so that Israel can't do these ridiculous things to Palestine. Just like we entered Karabakh, just like we entered Libya, we might do similar to them, he said, according to a Reuters report. So he's talking about invasion, okay? Israeli Foreign Minister Israel Katz came back swinging and suggested Erdogan would meet a similarly deadly fate as Iraq's former president, Saddam Hussein, who was executed by hanging in 2006. Erdogan follows in the footsteps of Saddam Hussein and threatens to attack Israel. Just let him remember what happened there and how it ended, Katz said in a message posted to X. That included a picture of Erdogan and former Iraqi leader. Okay, so that's a very big statement from Israel Katz going out to Erdogan as well. So is Turkey really planning to invade Israel if this thing really goes down again? That just doesn't make any sense to me why a NATO member would do that. But at the same time, I've been seeing this and reporting this for months now of Turkey's Erdogan coming out and stating for support of Hamas, support of Hezbollah, no support for Israel at all. Okay, it's been the complete opposite for Israel, and again, they're a NATO member. So how is that going to work out? That'll get very interesting if this war breaks out. And I want to talk some more about this war today. So here's a quick message as well. Israel set to counter Hezbollah following terror attack. Response will be swift, harsh, and painful. Okay, so this came out today. So it looks like there is some sort of response coming. And I'm sure some of you are probably thinking, okay, well, why is it taking so long? Why haven't they launched this attack already? Why are they not bombing Lebanon like crazy? Why are they not doing this or doing that? Well, I've got some information here in just a little bit that's going to show that this thing may be a lot more limited of an attack than what we're being told. So we're gonna talk about that some more. I've got a few things on X that I'm gonna get pulled up for you guys right now, and we're gonna discuss some more topics regarding this war over here, and then we'll go ahead and get you guys out of here. So I've got a few things pulled up here on X, so let's go ahead and take a look at these. This is from Prime Minister of Israel. The meeting of the Security Cabinet has concluded. The members of the cabinet authorized the Prime Minister and the Defense Minister to decide on the manner and the timing of the response against the Hezbollah terrorist organization. Okay, so this came out yesterday. So it looks like the Prime Minister, along with the Security Cabinet, have concluded action against Hezbollah. Now, again, we're going to have to see what that is. And my guess is if we do see some sort of response from Israel, I have a big feeling it'll probably happen sometime this weekend. Okay, now why I say that, I've stated this many times before. Anytime there is some sort of like limited strike, if it's not going to be an all-out war, it really doesn't matter what the timing is, in my opinion. But if they're going to launch a limited strike and they don't really want to impact markets and things like that, it makes a lot more sense for these things to happen over the weekend. That way markets are not affected. Now, I mean like stock markets, things like that, oil. It typically makes less of an impact if these kinds of things happen in the Middle East over the weekend than normally happening during the week. So let me show you a couple more things here. This is from Israel Defense Forces as of yesterday as well. This is Iranian-made rocket that Hezbollah shot toward Majd al-Shams yesterday. Iran spends their money enabling their proxies to commit acts of terrorism against innocent civilians. So the IDF released this picture to show the type of rocket that was used. It was called the Falak 1 Iranian rocket. And it says a rocket that is manufactured in Iran, diameter of 240 millimeters, range of 10 kilometers, warhead weight of around 50 kilograms. Okay, that's a pretty good sized warhead. That's why the video that I showed you guys the other day of that thing exploding on that soccer field, you could just hear that, the momentum and the blast. It was just so powerful, and the shockwave when it hit this lady that was holding the camera, she could feel it, and it scared her when she felt the shockwave hit her. So absolutely huge warhead that was used, and that's what was released here from the IDF. So also from Times of Israel alerts, live update: U.S. reiterates ironclad commitment to Israel's security against threats from Iran after Majd al-Shams attack. So this came out today, just a few hours ago from the time that I record this. Okay, so again, the U.S. is reiterating ironclad commitment to Israel's security. Okay, so how is Turkey going to invade Israel when the U.S. is backing them? The reason why I saved this article here was that it just doesn't make any sense to me. Why would Turkey put themselves in that position, and how is the U.S. going to deal with that? They're literally a NATO member. Why would a NATO member fight against a NATO member? I have no idea, but most likely this is more just as a deterrence, is what it seems like to me. It's more of a deterrence to prevent Israel from attacking Hezbollah, is kind of what this is. So let me show you this too. This is from Olivia Leinhart Lepoideven, I think is how we say it. Good morning, Beirut. Lebanon braces itself for Israel's most likely strong but limited response to Majd al-Shams strike. Hezbollah, which still denies responsibility, unlikely to want escalation. This morning, 2 Israeli drone strikes struck a car and a motorcycle in southern Lebanon. Reports of 2 dead and casualties. That was some information that came out just this morning. I was hearing about this. Flights are delayed and canceled at Beirut's airport today. So lots of flights being canceled at the airport in Beirut. I've been hearing about that. Numerous airlines canceling flights. And this right here is very big too, okay? This news actually came from the Lebanese foreign minister as well. Apparently he got information from the Israelis that was like calming messages, is kind of what he was stating, that that as long as Hezbollah were to stop their attacks on Israel, that Israel would just launch a very limited strike. And I have a feeling we're going to see something similar to what happened with Iran. You remember when back, what was it, in April, I believe, when Israel came under that massive attack by Iran, hundreds of drones, hundreds of missiles, ballistic missiles, everything like that. And then Israel was like, oh, we're going to get together. We got the war cabinet together and we're going to respond. We're going to hit Iran hard. And then all we heard like a couple days later was just, oh, there was like maybe eight little drones that flew into our country. And we're talking like little drones, okay? Like a personalized drone that somebody would have flying over their house to record some footage of squirrels or something, right? We heard something like that where it was just basically some small little drones entering into their territory and that was it. Okay, so I don't really understand what was happening there. I remember reporting on that and being so confused about what was going on. We were going to hear some massive strike. We're kind of seeing the same thing here, okay? And I have a feeling we will see some sort of response, or maybe we're already seeing that right now because there's already been lots of attacks happening inside of Lebanon, lots of bombs being dropped. We just had this drone strike right here on a car, right? A car and a motorcycle. So we're already kind of seeing that. So there's a very big possibility, I'm just kind of throwing this out here, that we may not see the massive response that the Israelis are talking about. I have a feeling that this may not respond that way, that they may look towards diplomatic solutions. For example, pushing Hezbollah back behind the Latani River, which Hezbollah is obviously coming out and communicating that. And then at the same time, Israel cannot attack Beirut and level it to the ground, okay? So it looks to me like there's a very big possibility we might not see a major attack on Hezbollah, but who knows? So here's some more information as well. Just came out today from Israel. Just a couple, like an hour ago from the time I record this. Live update from the Times of Israel alerts. Israel downs drone fired from Lebanon over waters in the north. Okay, so another drone still coming from Lebanon. So still, that's why I'm very confused by this. If Hezbollah doesn't want to be attacked and Lebanon doesn't want to be attacked, why is Hezbollah still attacking Israel? It just doesn't make any sense to me. So this is definitely a very strange situation, what we're seeing over here, but I kind of wanted to give you a perspective of either side, throw some different information out there so you can kind of put your own conclusion together and try to figure out what's going on here. But we are still expecting some sort of major response from the Israelis. Now, we just don't know what that's going to be because we're hearing that this could be very limited, okay? It could be a limited strike more than likely versus an all-out war. There's also been lots of reports as well throughout the Middle East that many of these Iranian-backed proxies are still preparing to go to war with Israel as well. So again, they're going to be backing Hezbollah if this war breaks out from Syria, most likely, is where they'd be backing them from. And then Iran also just came out the other day, I think it was their foreign minister of affairs, came out and said that they were basically giving ironclad support to Hezbollah as well, okay? So there's just way too many threats for Israel to even handle, especially without the support of the United States. And even if the United States backs them, I don't think they've even got the amount of equipment, even with the aircraft carriers and everything over there. They don't have the ability to protect Israel in that kind of a way either. So I think the number one thing we're most likely going to see here is a push for a diplomatic solution. But you let me know what you think down below. That's going to be it for this update today. If you got something out of this, please smash that like button. Also, if you enjoy my content, please consider subscribing down below. Hit the notification bell. That way YouTube can notify you. And with that, I hope you all have a great day. Everybody take care and God bless. And we'll see you in the next one.